Every parent wants to raise a confident, kind, emotionally strong child. But sometimes, even with the best intentions, we repeat patterns that quietly disconnect us from the very hearts we're trying to nurture. This isn't about blame, it's about awareness. Because the moment we see the mistake, we can choose something better. Welcome to Seeds of Tomorrow. If you're ready to explore the subtle shifts that build deeper connection with your child, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Mistake 1. Confusing obedience with respect. A child who follows instructions quickly, doesn't talk back, and behaves well in public is often praised as respectful. But obedience can be driven by fear, shame, or emotional suppression, not genuine respect. When children obey to avoid punishment, rejection, or emotional withdrawal, they're not respecting the adult, they're protecting themselves. This kind of obedience may look peaceful on the outside, but inside, it can create anxiety, people-pleasing tendencies, difficulty setting boundaries, a fragile sense of self-worth tied to performance. What true respect looks like. Real respect is rooted in mutual understanding, emotional safety, and trust. It's not about power, it's about relationship. A child who truly respects you, feels safe enough to disagree, trusts you to listen even when they're upset, follows your guidance because they believe in your care, not because they fear your reaction. Why this mistake happens. Many parents were raised in systems where obedience was the gold standard. Because I said so was normal. Disagreement was seen as disrespect. So when a child pushes back, cries, or questions a rule, it can feel threatening, even if it's developmentally appropriate. But children aren't meant to be silent. They're meant to be seen, heard, and guided, not controlled. The gentle shift. To move from obedience-based parenting to respect-based parenting. 1. Model respect first. Speak to your child with the same tone you'd want them to use with you. Respect isn't taught through lectures, it's absorbed through experience. 2. Validate emotions before correcting behavior. I see you're frustrated. That makes sense. When children feel understood, they're more open to guidance. 3. Invite collaboration. Instead of, do this now, try, let's figure this out together. This builds autonomy and trust. 4. Hold boundaries with warmth. Respect doesn't mean permissiveness, it means firmness with empathy. I won't let you hit. I'm here to help you calm down. Obedience may quiet a child's voice. Respect teaches them how to use it wisely. When we shift from control to connection, we raise children who don't just follow rules, they understand them. And more importantly, they learn to respect themselves. Mistake 2. Talking too much, listening too little. When a child misbehaves, struggles emotionally, or makes a mistake, many parents instinctively respond with words, lots of them. We explain, we correct, we lecture, we try to reason. But here's the truth. A dysregulated child can't absorb a regulated adult's wisdom until they feel safe enough to hear it. Over-talking can flood a child's nervous system, make them feel misunderstood or overwhelmed, trigger shutdown, defensiveness, or emotional withdrawal, shift the focus from connection to correction too quickly. Even well-intentioned words can feel like noise when a child is hurting. What listening builds? Listening isn't passive, it's active presence. When we pause and truly hear our child, we communicate. You matter. Your feelings are safe here. I'm not here to fix you. I'm here to understand you. This kind of listening builds emotional safety, trust, self-awareness, a child's ability to process and express their own thoughts. Why this mistake happens. Many of us were raised in environments where adults talked at children, not with them. We were taught that authority meant having the last word. So when our child cries, yells, or resists, we feel the urge to explain, justify, or control through language. But children, especially when upset, don't need a speech. They need a space, the gentle shift, to move from over-talking to deep listening. 1. Pause before responding. Take a breath. Let silence settle. Often your child will say more if you say less. 2. Reflect instead of react. You seem really frustrated. That was a lot. Want to sit with me for a minute? 3. Use fewer words, more presence. A calm face, open posture, and soft tone say more than a paragraph ever could. 4. Let the child lead the conversation. Ask open questions. What happened? How did that feel? Then wait. Let them fill the space. Words are powerful, but silence is sacred. When we stop talking long enough to truly listen, we hear not just what our child says, but what their heart is trying to tell us. Mistake 3. Punishing emotion instead of guiding it. Why calm down can wound, and how to help children feel safe in their feelings. The emotional shutdown. A child cries loudly, screams in frustration, melts down in public, and the adult, embarrassed, overwhelmed, or triggered, says, "Stop crying. Go to your room. Don't be dramatic. Calm down, or I won't talk to you." These phrases may seem harmless, but they send a powerful message. Your emotions are too much. You are too much. Over time, children learn to suppress their feelings, disconnect from their bodies, and doubt their own emotional truth. What children really need. Children don't cry to manipulate, they cry to communicate. Anger, sadness, fear, overwhelm. These are signals, not threats. When we punish emotion, we teach shame. When we guide emotion, we teach resilience. What they need is validation. It's okay to feel this. Containment. I'm here with you. Tools. Let's breathe together. Want to draw it out? Let's shake it off. Why this mistake happens. Many of us were taught to hide our own emotions. We were praised for being strong, quiet, good. So, when our child expresses big feelings, it can feel threatening, like a loss of control. But the truth is, emotional expression is not misbehavior, it's vulnerability. And vulnerability needs safety, not silence. The gentle shift, to move from punishing emotion to guiding it. 1. Name the feeling. You're really angry right now. That was scary, wasn't it? 2. Validate the experience. It's okay to feel this way. I get overwhelmed too sometimes. 3. Offer co-regulation. Sit close, breathe together, use sensory tools. Your calm nervous system helps theirs settle. 4. Teach emotional literacy over time. Use stories, play, and reflection to build vocabulary. Was that frustration or disappointment? What helped you feel better? Children aren't born knowing how to handle big emotions. They learn by watching us. When we meet their storms with calm, their chaos with compassion, we teach them that feelings aren't dangerous, they're human, and that they are lovable, even in their loudest moments. Mistake 4. Expecting maturity before it's developed. Why they should know better often misses the real story, and how to respond with developmental wisdom. The misunderstood moment. A child hits their sibling, a teen slams the door, a toddler melts down over the wrong color cup, and the adult, exhausted, confused, or triggered, says, "You're too old for this. You should know better. I've told you 100 times." But here's the truth. Knowing better isn't the same as being able to do better. Children may understand the rule, but their brains, especially the parts responsible for impulse control, emotional regulation, and empathy, are still under construction. What the brain is still building. The prefrontal cortex, which governs logic, planning, and self-control, doesn't fully mature until the mid-20s. So when a child loses it, it's not defiance, it's developmental vulnerability. They're not giving you a hard time. They're having a hard time. What children need instead. When we expect too much too soon, we risk shaming them for something they can't yet control, damaging their self-worth, creating anxiety around failure. What they need is scaffolding, support that matches their current ability, co-regulation, a calm adult nervous system to help settle theirs, repetition, gentle reminders, not harsh reprimands, grace, the space to grow without fear. Why this mistake happens. We live in a culture that values performance over process. We're told that good kids behave, listen, and self-regulate. So when our child doesn't, we feel judged, or we judge ourselves. But parenting isn't about producing perfect behavior. It's about nurturing developing humans. The gentle shift. To move from unrealistic expectations to developmental support. 1. Pause before reacting. Ask, is this a skill they haven't mastered yet? If yes, teach, not punish. 2. Use age-appropriate language. I know it's hard to wait. Let's practice together. Big feelings are tricky. I'll help you through it. 3. Model the skill you want to see. If you want calm, be calm. If you want empathy, show empathy. 4. Celebrate progress, not perfection. You paused before yelling. That's growth. You asked for help instead of hitting. I'm proud of you. Children aren't miniature adults. They're messy, magical works in progress. When we honor their timeline instead of rushing it, we raise humans who feel safe to grow, fail, and try again. Mistake 5. Using shame as a shortcut to change. Why you always do this, wounds, and how to correct without crushing. The hidden harm of shame. A child spills juice, breaks a rule, forgets their homework, and the adult, frustrated, tired, or triggered, says, "Why do you always mess things up? You're so careless. Can't you be more like your sister? You never listen." These phrases may stop the behavior in the moment, but they don't teach. They label, and labels stick. Shame doesn't build better choices. It builds fear, self-doubt, and a fragile identity tied to failure. What children hear beneath the words. When we shame, children don't just hear criticism, they hear, "I'm bad. I'm not enough. I disappoint the people I love. I have to hide my mistakes." Over time, this creates people-pleasing, perfectionism, emotional shutdown, a fear of trying new things. Why this mistake happens? Shame is fast, it's reactive. It often comes from our own childhood wounds, times we were shamed and learned to associate mistakes with unworthiness. In moments of stress, we reach for what's familiar, but familiar isn't always healing. The gentle shift. To move from shame to skill building. 1. Separate the behavior from the identity. Instead of, "You're so messy," say, "This choice made a mess. Let's clean it together." 2. Use specific, neutral language. "You left your shoes in the hallway" is clearer and kinder than, "You're always so lazy." 3. Focus on repair, not blame. How can we fix this? What could you do differently next time? 4th, model self-compassion. When you make a mistake, narrate it gently. "Oops, I forgot." "That's okay. I'll try again." Shame may silence a child, but it doesn't teach them how to rise. Correction without connection is hollow. But when we guide with dignity, we raise children who believe they are worthy, even when they mess up. And that belief becomes the foundation for every brave choice they make. Mistake 6. Overprotecting instead of preparing. You see your child struggling. They're frustrated with a puzzle, nervous about a test, upset after a friendship conflict, and your heart aches. So you step in. You solve the puzzle. You email the teacher. You call the other parent. You smooth the path so they don't have to stumble. This instinct is beautiful. It's rooted in care. But when protection becomes prevention, children miss the chance to build the muscles they'll need when you're not there. What overprotection teaches? Unintentionally. You can't handle this. Discomfort is dangerous. Someone else will always fix it. Failure means something's wrong. Over time, this can lead to low frustration tolerance, fear of trying new things, dependence on external validation, difficulty solving problems independently. Why this mistake happens? Many parents were raised in environments where emotional support was scarce, so they vow to be different, to be present, responsive, and protective. But sometimes, in trying to give more than we had, we give too much. We forget that resilience isn't built through comfort, it's built through safe struggle. The gentle shift. To move from overprotecting to preparing. 1. Let them struggle safely. Watch, support, but don't rush to rescue. I see you're stuck. Want to try one more time before I help? 2. Normalize discomfort. It's okay to feel nervous. That means you care. Mistakes are part of learning. 3. Teach problem solving, not avoidance. What could you try next? What might help you feel braver? 4. Be the soft place they land, not the shield that blocks growth. After the fall, be there with warmth, reflection, and encouragement. You tried something hard. That's courage. Protection says, I'll keep you safe. Preparation says, I'll help you grow strong. When we shift from shielding to scaffolding, we raise children who don't just survive the world, they shape it. Not because we removed every obstacle, but because we taught them how to climb. Mistake 7. Forgetting that connection comes before correction. Why discipline without relationship leads to resistance, and how to lead with love. The urge to fix. A child hits, yells, breaks a rule, and the adult, alarmed, frustrated, or triggered, rushes in with correction. Go to your room. Say sorry right now. You know better than this. But here's the truth. A dysregulated child cannot receive correction until they feel safe. When we skip connection and go straight to discipline, we often meet resistance, shutdown, or escalation, not learning. What connection builds? Connection is the emotional bridge that makes guidance possible. It says, I see you. You're safe with me. I care more about your heart than your behavior. When children feel connected, they're more likely to reflect on their choices, accept boundaries, repair relationships, regulate their emotions. Why this mistake happens? In moments of stress, we want to act fast. We fear that if we don't correct immediately, the behavior will repeat. But urgency often comes from our own dysregulation, not the child's needs. And when we lead with control instead of connection, we lose the chance to teach through relationship. The gentle shift. To move from reaction to reconnection. 1. Regulate yourself first. Take a breath. Ground your body. You can't co-regulate if you're dysregulated. 2. Reconnect before correcting. I'm here. That was a lot. Let's sit together for a moment. 3. Use calm, clear boundaries. I won't let you hit. Let's find another way to show anger. It's okay to be upset. It's not okay to hurt. 4. Reflect together after the storm. What happened? What could we try next time? How can we make it right? Correction without connection is like planting seeds in dry soil. They may land, but they won't grow. When we lead with presence, empathy, and emotional safety, we raise children who don't just behave better. They understand better, and that understanding becomes the root of lifelong wisdom. End message. Parenting is not a test, it's a relationship. and every mistake is not a failure, but a whisper. There's something here to learn, something here to heal. When we choose presence over perfection, connection over control, and compassion over correction, we don't just raise better children, we become gentler humans. If this message spoke to your heart, follow Seeds of Tomorrow for more soulful parenting wisdom, emotional tools, and gentle strategies to raise resilient, self-loving children. Subscribe to stay close, because healing is a journey, and you don't have to walk it alone. See you in the next video.